Welcome and welcome back to all the new and returning subscribers and or viewers. My name is Mike, and today I'll be discussing with y'all the future faking of the narcissist. All of their empty promises. They love to make promise, or commitment, but they never actually match their words with action. They're always just one to yap, and that's that. But before I divulge into the topic further, if this topic resonates with you or you can relate with it, I must ask that you hit the thumbs up, comment your thoughts, opinions, wisdom down below. I'd love to hear any and all feedback from you guys, and please subscribe. Thank you very much. It's much appreciated, and it helps to grow the channel and the community at large. So thank you for your 2 cents, and let's get on board with it. So, future faking is what these narcissists do all the time in the euphoric stage. In the beginning, when you thought that everything was peachy perfect, when they thought that everything was peachy perfect, or they want to make the world seem as if everything is, strawberries and cream, peaches and roses, whatever euphemism you want to use. But they never actually, again, match their actions with their words. Everything that you see on social media, everything you see, with the new supply, or, speaking of which, side note, don't focus on what they're doing now. Don't focus on the new supply. Don't even focus on the old supply. Don't focus on any supply. Narcissistic supply in particular, I can't think of any other term for supply other than in the narcissistic context when used in these videos. So whenever I say supply, I mean the narcissistic supply. So at any rate, if you harp on the past, if you dwell on the future, like what are they doing now? Who are they seeing? Who are they future faking next? Who are they conning next? You may think it's incumbent on you to warn the other person that this person's going to future fake you, and then they'll probably deny it. Like, they'll probably give you the same response as your friends or family or whoever else would give you when you didn't listen to their warnings, their red flags in the beginning, about how the narcissist was a narcissist. They weren't for you. They didn't have your best interest at heart. Something sounded too good to be true, because what it was. And you all know that. That's why they future fake. But at any rate, you could try warning the new supply all you want, but that's not your prerogative. That's not your job. Okay? Otherwise, they'll project and say you're the one who's future faking them. So it's not your incentive. It's, you may feel as if it is, but in actuality, just leave it alone. Leave the narcissist alone. Leave the new supply alone. Leave yourself alone. Grow, heal, introspect, process. Don't ruminate. Respond and don't react. Respond with your silence. If they should try to hoover you, I'll get into that in a little bit. I know I've done a lot of videos about the hoovering, but I just wanted to mention it real quick later as it relates to future faking, because they'll again go back and revert to their previous statements, their previous commitments, and air quotes, about how they wanted to do this with you. Let's go start a new business. Let's go start a family. Let's get married. Let's go on vacation. Let's go do this. Let's go do that. Their responses are endless. The future faking is endless. It really is. And this is, again, how they grab you and allure you in the euphoric stage. They want you to think that they have your best interests at heart. I know that you know that by now. You know better. But at the time you didn't, so you must vet people closely. Again, I must emphasize that whatever seems too good to be true, it usually is. Whatever seems too good to be true, it usually is. So go with your inner gut. If something smells off, if something's fishy, well, you have your answer. Or, if not, especially if nothing is reciprocal in response, it's not a one-sided relationship, regardless if it's a a friend relation or a romantic relation or a business relation. It's not a one-sided thing, okay? They can promise you a promotion, they can promise you that they'll pick up after themselves, pick up the slack, and feed you all these nonsensical scenarios that they'll do in the future. Well, why don't they do it now if they were so committed? Haven't you ever thought about that for a second? Maybe you weren't in the fog, maybe you weren't in the euphoric stage, but by golly, you did. No more time ever so than now. So you must be on the lookout. I mean, don't be paranoid of anyone and everything, but just keep your guard out. Vet people much more closely, especially if they have a history of being in toxic relationships. I mean, we don't control who we associate ourselves with. The family are often narcissists too. They often future fake us as well. It's not always in the romantic context. They'll promise you about how, I'm sorry for all the things in the past. Let's just move on, if you come back or blah, blah, blah. They'll future fake you then during the holidays. This is where I get into the Hoover. Whatever they promise you, whatever they future fake you, never accept the Hoover. Don't accept their fake promises. Again, their actions have to meet their words. No ands, ifs, or buts about it. And if they can't deal with that, if they get offended by that, heaven forbid that they have to, make a commitment or fulfill a promise that they falsely made. They have to match their actions with their words. It kills them. It kills the narcissists. It really do. So you must be on the lookout. Okay? Don't let them get to you with the future faking, okay? You want to do this, you want to do that. Well, make plans. When, who, where, how, why, all that stuff. And if they're unable to commit themselves to you, for example, like in the euphoric stage, they'll try to say, hey, I have arrangements for you when you get here, or when we move in together, like we have a plan. Maybe you buy a condo or a house, or maybe they offer you to go move in with them or something like that along those lines. And then when you move in with them, it's just pure plain chaos. It really is. And that's something that you want to be associated with. That they promise you maybe marriage, maybe children, maybe a fulfilling, promising life, but they never actually live up to their actions. For example, they'll cheat, they'll lie, they'll manipulate, they'll say that they're always going to be loyal to you. They'll say that they're something that they're not, whether it's political, religious, or whatever, insert the blank. These are just minor examples, but I'm saying that the narcissist never sticks to who they claim that they are, who they will be, who they will always be. A narcissist, with the capital N, narcissist. That kills them too, because they often project. They look to their other multiply, like the other people before you, and maybe during your time with them, wink wink, those so-called friends from work or from wherever the past was, they'll triangulate you with them. Meanwhile, they'll still act committed to you, and they'll also have future supply too. They're fully booked. Like, they are not accepting new clients like a doctor would not. Okay, they have enough supply, they get enough validation online, but meanwhile they wonder why they're in the same rut that they are in, because you say one thing on one hand and then you do the other. It really is ridiculous. It's not cute. It's not You know, we all fall on hard times. Things don't work out the way we planned it to be, but the point of a reciprocal relationship, no matter whether it's a friendship or a romantic relationship, no matter what kind of situation it's in, it's to communicate and to respond and not react, as I often emphasize on this channel as much as possible. Perhaps I should make a whole different video about responding and not reacting, but until then, I'm talking about future faking. They will never, they'll always react to you. Whatever you say, whenever you say, hey, you know, what's going on here? I've been helping you along the way. You said that you get back on your feet, or I've been helping you get back up on your feet. How come you're not, like, fulfilling, like, not so much their duties, like, can inherently, I mean, something that they're morally obligated to do, like, I don't know, look after the kids, or you know, do minor things like around something like that, like anything while you're working, you're breaking your back, and they say that they'll have the dishes done, they'll say that, you know, they'll take in the mail, whatever, insert the blank, insert the blank, insert the blank. They say one thing and they do another. I'm gonna wrap up this video in a minute or two, but I just want to conclude with this, you know, I just want to end with another point. Don't ever take their word. If they say they want to meet you, they'll meet you. If they say they'll do something, they'll do it. If they say that they'll be fully committed to you, then they won't even have to say. They'll just ask you where and when. That's what real camaraderie looks like, okay? Real companionship, real love, real respect, whether it's platonic or romantic or familial or whatever, or business. Like, you did so much, you matched your actions, you know, you matched your words with action, and the narcissist could never do that. So be on the lookout for these future fakers. Until then, I'm going to conclude this video. Please like again, comment, subscribe. This is Mike. God bless you. Take care. I wish you nothing but the best. I'll see you next time, and goodbye.